Welcome to the Falcon Trader Podcast Episode 1. Today we have our first guest, a six-figure funded trader from Canada, a well-known trader receiving over $50,000 in payouts from the prop firms in less than a year. Watch the podcast to dive into Hamza Ali, funded liquidity trader's mind on his journey of becoming a profitable trader and getting multiple six figures in funded accounts. Hamza, thanks for joining. Tell us, who is Hamza before becoming the liquidity funded trader?
Hey Ajwad, thank you so much for having me, first of all. It's been an honor to be on here. So anyways, my name is Hamza, also known as A Capital. I am currently funded with Yarimi Wealth Management and with funding pips, 400K in total funding. We received about 50K in payouts so far. And I've been profitable for about 6 months now, on and off, of course. You know, I've had a big losing streak of about 4 or 5 months after my first payout, which was quite challenging, I would say. I learned a lot in that period. Alhamdulillah, I came back now and able to learn from my mistakes.
That's very nice. How much was the very first payout that you received?
My first payout was 10K. It was a life-changing one. I remember it was with TFT. I remember at that time I was in Umrah and I received a payout in my bank, and I didn't believe it. I was like, man, you know, I just made 10K. I don't think they're gonna pay me out. We'll see what happens. And then and then on the Stripe I got a message saying, you know that girl Alicia, she says you just got paid.
Alicia from Teal,
from Teal, yes, the deal back in the days, right, when TFT used to use that. I got that email and I was like, oh, what is this? I opened the email and I say $10 just got deposited into your account. I was like, what? And I didn't believe that for first. So what happened was I went to my bank account, right? And then I opened my account, logged in, and I checked and I'm like, wow, this is actually real. You actually get paid that much money in like 1-2 days of trading. And that was a game changer for me, man. After that, I really discovered prop firms. I think the first prop firm I actually discovered was FTMO, and I came across TFT because FTMO was a bit more pricey at that time. Took TFT challenge, passed it, and yeah, man, it was insane. That was a really life-changing moment for me in terms of the growth that prop firms could bring to you as a trader.
100%. You know, prop firms are a great way that we as a trader who have no access to the large capitals, we can simply just access, after completing the evaluation, we can access the simulated capital and whatever profit we're going to be making. If we are with the right firm who pay out to their traders, then we can definitely be, taking out 6 figures, 5 figures every single year.
Yeah, and also, the thing with prop firms is many people either think they're a scam, which, reasonable doubt, because, many of them don't pay out. But the ones that pay out are the ones that are legit. And to be able to, take out payouts on a consistent basis, you have to fill in a skill. Many guys don't do this. I myself was the one that didn't do this. What I used to do before, when I first started, I found out my prop firms. I was just learning in that phase. I was, you know what, let me just buy an account, see how it goes, and just trade. And that's how I just kept blowing accounts. And that's a very bad start to someone's trading journey. You should always know that resources are available out there, but first learn the skill. Because if you don't learn the skill and you just do these prop firm accounts, you're just gonna blow accounts, and it won't bring no benefit. Either you end up giving up and then calling Forex a scam, which is most of the people that they do this, or they just stop doing it, or they just keep trying and not really, looking at their problems and trying to resolve it, and they just keep going in the cycle, the loop of just failing until they blow everything they have, all their savings, all their money.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go back. I want to know how you started trading, how you came to know about Forex.
So, okay, this is a crazy story. So I remember, so before trading, I was basically into a regular business. I was doing e-commerce, right? I was selling, I was importing exotic chocolate and candy from India, Pakistan, Dubai, and Kuwait, all this stuff. The imported stuff that you don't find in Canada. And I was doing that quite often. It was doing pretty good until, when COVID hit, and then when interest rate went up, gas prices went insanely high. It was very, very hard for me to bring those products in through ships, of course, and it was costing like insane. I couldn't sell a small bag of chips for $10. Who's gonna buy that?
Yeah.
So it wasn't feasible. So I had to close it down, and then I was working a regular job. I'm an engineer, right? Working a regular 9-to-5 job, and I still am working a regular 9-to-5 job. So working that job as an engineer, and then I had that on the side, good money coming in, so it wasn't really any stressful, for me. Like my finances was pretty good, alhamdulillah. And then I remember I was on TikTok, and then I saw this reel of this guy called Yarimi University. Nasser Yarimi, pretty big guy.
Yarimi
University. He was trading, and the video which he was talking about was he was actually moving out from his parents' house to his new condo that he bought. And the next video I saw was where he paid $30K upfront for the rent for that house, or for that condo that he bought. And I was like, damn, man, $30K upfront, like just like that, and from a card just paying that much money. And then I kept looking more of his videos, and he saw he doing a lot of trading charts, and I'm like, what is this stuff? And then mentioned prop firms. He said you can get big payouts with these platforms if you know the skill. And I was like, okay, yeah, it sounds interesting. Let me see if this guy has, any course or something. And he has a course, and I was like, oh man, maybe this is a scam. I don't know, because usually you hear a course, you're like, this guy's a scammer or whatever it is. I said, you know what? Let me just try it. He's a Muslim brother. I know who he is from before. Let me try his course. Took his course, learned a bit of stuff, and after that, that's when the journey started, man. I started getting more into trading, more into forex from that course. Took multiple other courses as well, trying to, I guess you could say, adapt myself into more of a profitable trader. One course will give you the foundations, but you have to also go out of your way to learn more extra stuff that will help you, right? Refine your strategy. So I had to do that a lot, took other courses as well, refining my strategy. And man, I'll tell you, I lost a lot of money in that period because I was also live trading. Because I didn't have any patience, so I didn't want to do the challenges and pass phase 1 and phase 2 too much time. Well, you know what? Let me just deposit $1,000 into a live account and see how it goes. And guess what? I blew that within a day. The whole $1,000 blew within a day. Deposit another $1,000, blew again the same day. And I was like, man, this is really working, right? Took a break for a month, came back again, I just kept on demo trading. Right, came on demo trading. And I was very profitable at demo trading, but it just never worked out in the live account. Later, I came to know that it was mostly my psychology, not the strategy. It was mostly psychology that I need to work on, developing patience, developing good habits. Not over trading, not FOMOing, knowing when to trade, when not to trade, all that stuff. And of course, as time goes, as months goes, as you gain more experience, you get more adaptable to the markets, and there will come a time eventually that you become profitable. And alhamdulillah, I reached that level where I'm able to be consistent. Even though I still fail challenges today as well. It's not like I don't fail in nothing. Still fail, still blow accounts, but it's more so like the money is coming in gradually. Which is what you want it to be as a trader. And of course, the end goal is to acquire large funding and get away from prop firms or trade your own personal fund. But yeah, man, that's been my journey. It's been I've been almost 2.5 years now. 2.5 years in this journey.
And you received your first payout 6 months ago, yeah? So it's been like
first payout was almost a year and a half ago. That was what's crazy is, so with TFT, what happened was when I first started my journey, I started, remember, on October 2021 or 2022. 2022, October 2022, right? Or September 2022. Got my first payout on January of 2023, within the 4 months. Maybe call it luck, whatever it may be. I mean, it's probably luck because after that I blew the account, right? And I was on a big losing streak. So it makes sense, right? So I got that first payout. That's when everything came to reality, blew my account. And then that's when I started to actually learn the whole process and develop those habits. And then I became more profitable towards the ending of last year, around October, November time, where I became more consistent, getting more payouts, racking up more accounts. Before I only had a 100K account, and I would end up blowing it, right? Or I would end up risking insane amounts and just passing it and then not getting a payout and just blowing it. But now, alhamdulillah, I've been able to rack up. My goal is to get 1 million by the end of the year. That's pretty good now so far.
That's very good, man. And inshallah, you will achieve your goal. You're a consistent trader, and you know what you are doing. You are following your plan. You are doing a good risk management, and that's what it takes to reach 7 figures in funding.
Literally, many people get it twisted. They're saying, "Oh, I want to hit 10% on a 100K account, 20%." That's not the goal. The goal is to gain a lot of capital and hit 2-3%. The guys like Jade Cap and Paladin, those big guys, even they themselves say that for them to be hitting 20-30K in payouts, they just make 2-3% on their account. And then when you look at their account, they have $1 million in account, or 600K, 400K. That's the goal. And if you have proper risk management, that's the only way to excel. Like, you may be trading anything. You can just buy and sell randomly. But if you have a risk management plan, you can scale that, right? But if you have no risk management plan and you just buy, sell randomly, or trade pure SMC, pure liquidity, you're still gonna fail because you have there's no plan in place, right?
You can be risking 1% in one trade, and then on the next trade you will be risking 7-8%, and you're going to be blowing the account.
And that's what many people do. They get greedy, right? They risk 1%, they lose. They're like, "Oh, I want to make it back, so I'll risk 3%." And then next thing you know, risk management it's just gone, and then they just do some crazy stuff.
I literally just recorded a video just before this podcast, and I was talking about the worst trading mistakes that every single trader make when they try to pass the evaluation. And one of the points was that instead of targeting 10 or 15% on a small account, let's say 100K account, I literally mentioned just forget about that and target 7 figures in funding. Once you are at 1 million funding, you will be just making 1% or 2% a month, and that's what you need to hit 5 figures in payouts every single month. And you can consistently do it easily because there will be no pressure that, oh, I need to make 10%, so let's risk 2% on this trade, let's risk 3% on this trade. You can simply just risk 0.4%, 0.5% on every single trade that you take, And at the end of the day, just to hit $10,000 mark, you need 2 rewards. In 30 days time, you need 2 rewards on a $1 million funded account. That's what I always say. That's a very good point. Target the big amount, the big funding accounts, $1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million. Of course, you're not gonna just go from 10k to 1 million in one night. It's gonna take time, but once you are at that level, then making 10, 20, even 25 or $30,000, it's gonna be very easy.
You know what people do? Usually people rush the process. They try to get 100k, 200k, a million very quickly.
Yeah.
And this rushing process is a big. I myself was very much guilty of this. I used to rush the process, thinking I want to get rich quick. Problems are gonna go away, whatever it may be. This is a very wrong mindset to have from the beginning. If you are rushing the process from the get-go, you're bound to fail. And if you fail, I don't blame you. The blame. The blame is on you, right? At the end of the day, because you're rushing the process. This is a long-term goal. Trading is a long-term journey, and it takes time. You look at all these big guys. Like, no one did it within a year. I myself, when I got funded and I got the payout, I was like, this doesn't feel right, man. Like, well, within 4 months, you got funded. Is that easy? And then I saw the reality came to its fruit when I had the big losing streak, and I was like, oh damn, this is what the real trading is, right? Having these big losses, and that's when you actually learn. Losses are not something that will push you back, right? It actually helps you to learn. But that's the thing: if you're someone that loses and does not journal, does not actually write down why they're losing, and doesn't plan their losses, then you never really learn. You have to always look back at your losses, review your trades every week. See what's going wrong, what's going off. Why am I foaming? There's always a reason behind everything. Greed, patience, greed. Usually greed happens because you want money fast. So another thing that happens. So you have to always review your stuff, and then only when you review, you learn from your losses is when you excel as a trader. But if you are just in the cycle of gambling, losing, and you're not learning anything, then unfortunately you're going to be in the cycle forever, for your whole life, until you lose everything you have. Which is a sad reality. I know one guy actually. And I feel sorry for the guy, but he basically was a pretty good trader, right? And then I think something happened to him, and then he kind of lost track. Took out of trading for a couple of months, came back to it, and he had a lot of pressure on him to get the money back, right? To make money, because he didn't have a job and all that stuff. And trading was the only way for him. So that was first, right? That first mindset was wrong, right away. To have that quick money or to have that trading is the only way to pay my bills. That right there is a very, very deadly mindset to be in. So he had that, and then he had a bunch of savings, pretty good amount of savings that he had from his previous accounts that he got payouts with. Kept buying, kept filling, kept buying, never really learning, because he thought that he knew what he knew he was doing. The thing is, many guys, when they become at that level, they think, I'm the boss now. Market is, is like, it's nothing. I'm the boss. I never learned from the market. Market needs to learn from me. That's what they become, and that's what their mindset becomes. The next thing you know, market just slaps them up, and they're like, what's happening?
Everything,
and they keep doing it. They keep doing it again and again and again. They never learn. This is the sad reality that many guys have, and he was in that cycle, and he just kept failing and blowing challenges to the point where everything he had in his account was gone, vanished in just challenges, and he got no payout after that, and he was in debt. And this is sad reality, man. Many guys go through this, because they don't learn. They don't want to, put their egos aside. Be like, okay, let me actually get back to the books. Let me actually learn. No matter how much I know, let me actually learn. Let me backtest. Even though I'm profitable, even though I have a million in funding, let me still backtest. Let me still review. Let me still journal. This is part of the plan.
That's a very good point. Many traders, they don't accept that they are losing. The ego comes, and they think they have to be right every single time when they're taking the trade, which is a very wrong way to approach the market. And because of that, when you're not learning, you're not writing down the reasons why you took the trade, why that trade did not work out, what you could have done better. When you're not doing anything like that, so of course you're going to be losing a lot. We were talking about the job. You said you're still doing your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I've seen many traders, they just start trading, and they have these expectations that I'm going to be a millionaire in a year or 2 years. I'm going to quit my job right after $10,000 payout will come. And they actually quit their job. But I never recommended anyone that if you want to quit your job, just make sure that you at least have 12 months of expenses saved up. And most importantly, every single time when you're taking the trade, you're always following your plan. It's not like you have some pressure that you need to pay your rent, you need to pay your bills. And with that pressure, you're going to be bending your rules. You just want to make quick bucks. So that way there will be no pressure on you. And that ultimately leads into you failing your accounts again and again. So I was going to ask, what do you think, when should be the right time for the trader? They should leave their job if they want to and then become full-time trader?
Honestly, for me, when it comes down to, okay, so there are different types of jobs. I want to first make that clear. There's jobs that you sit in an office, a government job or a regular private company, you sit in the office and you work, right? You have flexibility to work from home. We have a hybrid model where you go into office once a week. This type of job, I'll say this is job A. Then you have job B, where you have more of a hands-on, warehouse job, or you go to a store and you actually have to sell, that type of stuff, which is more hands-on work. For a person who's doing a job B, more hands-on work, it's quite hard for them to trade while they're on their job, because that's the reality of it, right? They can't go on their phone and look at charts and analysis and all that stuff. So for them, like you said, have 12 months of savings, have a good safety net in the background where you're not pressured to pay your bills through trading, and only then you should leave your job when you actually have more consistent payouts, right? You're seeing money coming in every single week or every single month through trading, right? And it's consistent, and only then you should be. So I guess my rule is 6 months of profitability, 6 months of consistent payouts. Only then you should be able to think of leaving a job if you're in a plan B or job B type of role. If you're in a job A role, which currently I am in, I don't have any goals to leaving my job, because it makes no sense. Why leave your job when you have fixed income coming in, which is a blessing? Fixed income coming in while trading is really a blessing. Like, you have no pressure to pay your bills. You have no pressure to anything in life. You have your financial income coming in, fixed income coming in no matter what, every month. And you have your trading on the side, which you can do on the side. And you can come on in later on. The thing with trading is people think, it's like you have to stay on the charts for like 20 hours and, that's not how it is. Like, personally for me, I live in Toronto. So my session starts at 3 a.m., which is London session. 3 a.m. My time is around open up UK time, which is around 8 a.m. I believe. So I trade at the open of London or around that time, and I'm done usually before New York starts. Before the reverse of New York happens, I'm out. I'm done with the trade. So I'm basically done trading before the day even starts. So it doesn't make sense for me to leave my job where I'm done the day, and the rest of the day, what am I doing? Sleeping, right? The thing is, as a young entrepreneur and someone who's, in their, 20s to late 30s, if you're someone that wants to, become successful when they're, and retire fast, the best way is to have as many income streams as you can and save, right? Because if you have one trading career and now that trading career is also paying your bills, you also have to save up, and you also have that luxury lifestyle, which all traders love to have. Unfortunately, you want to rent the Lambos and, G-Class and all that stuff. So if you have about the lifestyle and you also have to pay your bills, then, man, you're in a very, very bad, state to be in. But if you're someone that have multiple income streams, whether it be job, whether it be, you to doing a mentorship program or any educational service, whatever it may be, as long as you have multiple streams of income, I would say, keep doing what you're doing. And if you're in a position where you have a part B job B, where, you have a regular 9-to-5 job and it's pretty flexible and stuff, and you're trading, I would say, honestly, trade at the same time, do your job at the same time, as long as it's in conflict. And once you reach a level of, profitability of 6-7 months, consider it. Consider it, not leave the job, consider if you need to, right? The goal is to rack up as much money as you can, and then if you want, the only thing with job is you don't have freedom of time. But again, it depends what job you have. If you have a job with, you get vacation days, flexibility to work from home, what else you want, man? You can work from home, get money there in your trade, make money there as well. It's a blessing. And I know many good traders that actually didn't leave their job. Basically, if you know the brother called FX, pretty big guy, the owner of Funded Peaks. FX, Omar. So I actually met him. I met him in London when I went last year. And I asked him, bro, I'm being profitable now. I want to leave my job. I'm tired of this. I had the regular, the young trading mindset. The young entrepreneurs, they want to leave their job. Screw the 9-to-5, this is Matrix, all this BS. He told me he was working his job till recently, right? He left it recently, and he was profitable for the past couple of years. He was making a lot of money from trading, but he left the job recently. And I asked him, bro, why don't you leave a job? He's like, it makes no sense. Why would I leave my job when I work from home, when I have fixed income coming in, doesn't conflict with my trading? Why? Why? Now's my time. Now's the age to rack up money. It's not about freedom of time or whatever, freedom of life. Yes, enjoy your life, of course. But now's the time to rack up as much money as you can, so you can retire fast. You can just quit, working.
Makes sense.
You just have your passive income running for you. You have your property rental coming in, and you're living your life. Then you live your life on your own terms. Right now, in a young age, when you have the young blood, you have the hustler blood, now's the time to rack up, man. Now's the time to work really hard. So the future you will thank you for this. Because of course, when you're like in your 30s, 40s, you can't be grinding like how you're grinding right now. Because more responsibility, you got a family, you got children, and all this stuff. It gets hard. That's why I tell everyone else, so if you have a job, if you have a stable job, work from home or a hybrid model, stay your job, work from here, work that job, get the money coming in, fund your challenges, fund your accounts, and just go from there.
With the recent events that happened last year with my Forex fund, and then we see now the funny trader is having a lot of issues paying traders. They are rejecting tons of payouts every single day.
Yeah.
And also, two Forex fund, they went off because of the MetaQuartz issue. MetaQuartz cancelled their license, they terminated the license. Their funded engineer went off because FPFX Technologies, they terminated their license. A lot of things happened. Then MetaQuartz literally stopped working with every single evaluation firm out there. These are the hard times of the prop firm industry right now. What do you think, how traders should approach the evaluation firm? Because back in the days when I first started, I will tell you a little background. I started with FTM in 2019. At that time, I was trading my personal capital. I started back in 2017. I was trading my personal capital. I came to know in early 2019 about FTMO. I did the challenge, got the funded account, received the payout, then blew the account. Then COVID came in 2020. At that time, I wasn't trading at all, to be honest. But late 2020, I did again challenges with my Forex fund. There was one firm at the time which was funding talent. So after doing bunch of challenges, receiving bunch of payouts, then I stopped trading my personal capital back in the days. Now with these issues that are going on, do you think traders should only trade the prop firm capital, or they should be trading both prop firm and personal capital as well?
See, personal capital, to make a living. The thing is, people, when it comes to personal capital, right away people think, I need to flip to make a living. People don't have 100K sitting in the bank account, right? So their first instinct right off the bat is, okay, I'm going to deposit 1K or 2K or 3K, 5K. I'm going to flip it to 30, 40, 50, 100K, which right away, that mindset is wrong. Flipping accounts, you may end up getting lucky, you may end up flipping it, but making it, being consistent with it is almost impossible, right? You can't be making 30, 40% every single week, every single month. That's honestly, like, if you claim to do that, you're saying you're better than the guys at Wall Street, which is not possible. 1-2% is something that's reasonable. So with personal account, I would say, of course, that is the goal, that is the end goal. However, first you need to have that money to be able to deposit into a personal account. Even the minimum I would say is 50K, and then grow from there. Because at 50K you can grow to 100K and to $1 million and so on. But if you have $1,000 in your account and you deposit it into a personal account, what are you doing, man? You can't flip it to 10K. You can flip it with luck, but
it's not going to be consistent.
10K, exactly, right? Which is not really the goal. I would say first, start off with prop firms. Yes, prop firms, many prop firms are going down. Some is, going, not paying people out, whatever. The thing is, in my mentorship, there's like 1,000 guys who will always ask me, hey, Hamza, this is a prop firm is coming out. This is going down. This is not paying. What do I do? Man, this is all noise. Block the noise out. Focus on your journey. Pick a prop firm that is reliable. We have FTMO. We have so many prop firms that are literally they're in place for many years. There are firms that are coming out now which are backed by real guys like Funded Peaks, SFT. These are all backed up by real guys who are actual traders who won't go behind your back and stab you. Right? These are actual traders who know how to trade. They made money from trading before they even did this prop firm thing. So they're out there. They're still out there. Block all this. These are all noise that distract you from your goal. Your goal is to be funded, get a prop firm, get a payout, and go from there. So block all these noise out. Focus on your journey. Focus on getting, funded with these prop firms that are legit. No HFT firm passing with one day and hoping for a payout. This is all BS, man. This is a waste of time. Many guys, some people. One guy actually DM'd me last week saying, hey Hamza, I just passed the HFT. It was a Cortana FX, the prop firm, HFT. Yeah. He passed a 200K account. He made 10K on that, and he didn't pay him. And he's like, oh man, they didn't pay me. I'm so sad. I was so happy last week I got funded. I'm like, bro, if you have these type of expectations from firms that are like this, like HFT firms, why are you wasting your time, your dedication? You should have made the 10K on a FTM account. You just passed phase 1. Off a 100K account, you just passed phase 1. So this is the thing, man. How many guys have this get rich quick mindset? You have to get rid of this, block out all the noise, and just focus on your journey, focus on the process. The goal is to get funded, to get payouts, and then use that money to put it into your personal account and trade that. Because, of course, prop firms are not the way to go out. It's not the way, because, the 5% drawdown, 10% drawdown is kind of draining at times. You can't really hold positions if you're a swing trader. Sometimes I swing trades, but then it's not a balance-based drawdown. Like it just, if I'm up 5K the next day, and then I'm down 5K the same day, and it just account's gone, right? Because of the
trailing drawdown.
The drawdown, exactly. So it's not reliable to hold in swing trading. Swing trades are much more relaxed to you from a psychology point of view, which is something that everyone should look into as they grow as a trader. Because 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame is good. You can make a lot of money, but man, the amount of stress, I'm getting white hair from 1 minute entries because of how stressful it is. So
Yeah,
I would say
you can see my white hair as well from me.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're visible on the
stressful,
camera,
bro.
but yeah, of course, I know.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Don't worry. Even for me, it doesn't show, so that's good. But yeah, it's definitely, you should look into swing trading, and the goal is to get payouts, put it into a personal account, and trade that, and grow that, to a big fund capital, and then just trade that as you go, withdraw as you please. Whatever rules you want to follow, you follow the rules. I guess prop firms are good because it really helps those habits, man. Like really, before prop firm, I didn't have any daily risk. You have your prop firm risk, but now with prop firms, because of prop firms, I have my own daily risk. Prop firms have a 5% drawdown. I have 3% drawdown. If I have 3% for the day, I'm left with 20 for the day, which is something that you build. And as you grow as a trader, as you trade, you get experience. These habits get instilled into you like it's second nature. You wouldn't want to trade after you hit your daily loss because of those habits that are instilled into you. So I would say prop firm is a good journey. It's a good thing to do because you end up learning a lot. You end up learning risk management, which is one of the main things that prop firm teach you. And of course, you get payouts. You can make a lot of money very fast. You get access to free 100K, 200K, up to $1 million capital without any of your own money. You get a refund back, of course, right? And then you just go from there. And the end goal should be personal account.
That's very cool. Now let's deep dive into the trading strategy that you use. Can you share your screen and talk about the strategy that you use to trade the accounts?
So I usually trade EU and GU, and I trade with the trend. Always trade with the trend. The way I trade about is, of course, on the higher time frame, and I look for lower time frame entries or confirmation, and I enter from there. Now, right off the bat, GU and EU have been having this massive losing, or you can say massive bearish momentum for the past week, last week as well. So my goal this week was to cast the trend and possibly hold it all the way down to the last low of previous week. So I'm actually in this trade right now. I sold from this level here, this 4-hour order block, or you could say 4-hour 4-hour order block or supply zone, whatever you want to call it, to this level of low, right, for nights 1 to 3. That's my goal right now. That's what I'm going to trade right now on this trade. Currently holding this. So hopefully I'm expecting this to hit sometime this week because there's plenty of news happening this week, which very likely it may end up hitting or may end up going up. We don't know, right? There's a lot of liquidity up here. Essentially, how I trade is my goal is to find supply zones and demand zones on the hourly. So I short the 4-hour to look for a clean structure. I can see clearly the structure has been quite bearish. It took out this low here as well, which is quite, you could call it to be a change of character in one say. So the price has changes characters from bullish to bearish, and then my goal is to find an imbalance with a supply zone. So I see a lot of imbalance here with the supply zone somewhere around here, right? And I see another imbalance here, supply zone around here. Now, what I do is I don't usually, off of market experience, I usually price fills around the first supply zone, and if it has to come up, it will completely break through it. But off of my experience, I know the price usually fills in half of the first supply zone, or fills in the imbalance here, and usually it would end up taking the last point of supply, last point of the day, the previous week, and potentially either move up or continue going down. So I had this clean setup on the 4-hour, this clean supply zone, as you can see, right? This clean supply zone. This move down, this move up, and this big move down. Price had this nice imbalance here, or you could say insufficient price action. Price had to fill. It did fill that today, right? This big bullish candle had that filled. Had a nice entry here. You can also see in the 5-minute, it gave me a confirmation of an entry. So you can see price actually had this nice, tap in and a movement down. If we go on the 1 minute, you can see. Well, on 1 minute, usually I look at this to look for a confirmation. Basically, I do this when I'm entering on the 1 minute, so you can see price clearly broke this level lows right here. Right? Or you can even say these level lows right here broke all these levels lows. So that for me confirmed that the price is now bearish. However, since it's a new day, it can definitely come back up, take out this liquidity, and then tank. Hence why my stop loss is all the way at the top of the supply zone, top of the candle here, because it may come up, take out that liquidity of the previous day high, and then tank all the way to this last point of last week. So I may actually end up looking into stacking more positions on a lower time frame if I see a position tomorrow. but it's very honestly very simple. I don't like to have any trend lines or any of that crazy stuff. It's usually either it's Asian manipulation. If I'm gonna enter off of the 1 minute or the 5 minute, I usually wait for the high or the low of Asia. You see right here, high and low to get rated. Once the high and low get rated, you can see you can take a nice sell over here to this level low. Right, maybe probably like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 on this one. This is more of an aggressive trade. I usually do this on a challenge account when I want to pass, quickly. But on a fundamental account, I'm very conservative. I only trade on the higher time frames. So 15 minute to the hourly, right? I have an RR to like 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk to reward. I risk about 0.5% max, and that's it. And I hold the trade for a couple of days, and I see how it goes. And sometimes if the trade gives me an opportunity the next day, I will look to stack up as I move this to break even.
Yep.
I never stack up when I have a position already there with like the risk active. My goal is to, if I'm going to enter another pressure, like another trade, I would first move this to break even, minimize my risk on the first trade, and then enter the second trade with whatever risk I want to do. So I'm not risking more than total of 0.5%. Max, I would say, is 1% max.
That's very cool. I just have one question. Like, why do you only trade GU and EU? Like, why not?
First off, EU GU is very low on spreads with every platform I've been with. Budding Pips, UWM, TFT, FTMO, EU GU has the least spreads. That's what I want first off. Second off, when I first started this, I used to trade like 20 pairs. I had the whole. If you look at this, I'll show you my watch list here. This is my pairs now that I trade, right?
Yeah.
UHF, CJF, EU, GU. This I just added this today. GPY, it's not usually on there. DXY, just to see the like the movement, correlation between EU and DXY. Yeah, and then USD CAD. I don't trade USD CAD or CHF, only EU and GU. I use these three, DXY, USD CAD, and CHF as a correlation or as a confluence for me to validate my GU analysis, right? So look at how I started when I first started. Look at this. This is what I had before.
Yeah.
When I first started. So I would sit here, do analysis for every single pair and have alerts. And one day I remember I would have 30 alerts getting pinged at one time. It's near supply zone, near demand zone. And I would be like, oh shit, what do I do? So many entries, which one do I take? So I remember I had a friend who's, mashallah, very profitable, and he told me, and he actually has $1 million in his own personal account. He's been trading that for quite a while now. And he actually told me this, bro, like the goal is for you to take one pair, study it, and master it. And only then you'll actually realize how it moves. Because if you have 1,000 pairs, you're not able to properly master how it moves, because each pair has its own uniqueness. EU may move this way, GU moves differently. I know for a fact EU moves very different to GU, even though they move the same way. But the style, GU moves very rapidly. EU takes its sweet time, but GU you can make 5 hours very quick. But EU it takes sweet time. I know GU at London Open it has a rapid movement to the upside or downside. EU not really, not always. But GU has a very rapid push, upside or downside. So these are different styles, even though they move exactly the same, different styles. So it's very important to take one pair or two pairs and understand it, so you know what the style is, how you can use it to your strategy, and how you can implement it. When I'm taking a challenge account, usually I trade GU. I know GU moves very quick. I can make 5R, 8R very quick on the 1 minute time frame. However, on a fundamental account, I usually trade EU because I know EU takes a sweet time and it develops liquidity, it engineers liquidity, takes out the SMTs, the traps, and then moves very slowly, but it moves very clean. So I trade EU usually on the fundamental account, right? So you have to learn these type of these type of patterns on the pairs, and the only way you can learn this is by sticking to one or two in the beginning of your journey and not do what I did, looking into 20 30 pairs, because it just put me back a couple months because I was doing all this for waste. And at the end of the day, I don't even trade these pairs, right? It never made me money. So it's good to take two or three pairs that move really good and go from there.
The more you keep your trading simple, the more money you're gonna make. Or we can say the more you complicate your trading, the more money you're gonna lose, because you will be always confused what you need to do. There will be I personally trade all the pairs. I'm gonna be very straightforward here. However, the way I trade, I just don't spend more than 30 minutes of the time, and because I'm a very slow trader, so I know out of those 20 pairs I will be just looking 2 or 3 pairs for the rest of the week. So I always know ahead of time when I do my pre-market analysis at the weekend. So I say this all the time, just make your trading, keep it simple, and then take it from there. Because when you will try to add multiple indicators, you will add trend lines, you will draw some Fibonacci's and do XYZ things. How are you gonna expect that it's gonna be easier for you to understand what's happening? One indicator will be giving you one confirmation, second will be giving you a different type of confirmation. Which one you're gonna be choose? Like it's gonna be very difficult. That's why I always say trading should be very simple, and you should keep your chart very simple, just like the way you are keeping it. That's a very good way.
Yeah, no, that's very right. And of course, like you said, having a ton of indicators, RSI, this movement, that movement, AMA, all the stuff, you're trying to predict everything. Honestly, trading is very simple. The more you complicate it, like you said, it just gets more and more harder for you. Keep it simple. Price action, trend lines, SMC, liquidity, whatever you're trading, keep it simple. And if you look at all the guys who teach legit stuff, they have very simple. They look at one entry, look at price action, look at this, look at some traps, and that's it. Execute. No trend line, no this line, that line, this level, and having like 10 all into one. Doing Fibonacci tools from this level. Like, keep it very simple, man. You just overcomplicating stuff. You just have a ton of knowledge in your head, and like you're trying to apply all of it. For example, I actually learned a couple of concepts from ICT, like fair value gaps, right? Fair value gaps and power of 3. These 3 concepts I use a lot with my analysis, right? Like the manipulation, accumulation, distribution, right? Different sessions. Like I personally use that a lot, especially on Mondays. I know that happens a lot during London and New York, where a lot of accumulation happens, and it never really moves as it should, as it does on Tuesdays or Thursdays or Fridays, right? So and actually teaches a lot of concepts. He teaches like maybe 100 plus concepts. But the thing is, I just took 2 of them, and I stick to 2 of them because those 2 worked out for me. Those 2 I actually like and actually see in the market, and that's it. But some guys, they try to implement all the 100 concepts in one, and they're like, oh man, I didn't see this, I didn't see that, I missed that, I missed this. Of course, you're gonna miss your entries, you're gonna miss your executions, because you're putting all this, making it very hard for yourself. Keep it simple, stick to your strategy, and again, back test what works for you. Only then you will know. If you have no, like they say, you have no data, you have no confidence, you can't trade. You need to have some data, and the data and the confidence is backed up by data.
Hamza, give us some recommendations for every single one of my viewers who is watching. If they want to take the challenge and become a funded trader, how they should complete the evaluation? What would you recommend to them?
First off is to have a plan. When I say a plan, I don't mean a plan on how you want to pass a challenge, a roadmap to your journey. If you're going in this journey, you need to see the end goal. If you have no end goal in mind, what are you working towards? Right then and there, you have to first build a plan. Open a document, Word document, whatever. Write down, okay, I'm starting off with a 50K account. Okay, and 100K. Get the first payout, put some money into savings, some money into 100K account, pass that, and so on. You have your starting goal and your end goal. That way you have a roadmap to work towards. That's the first step. Second step is build a plan on how to pass your challenge, right? Don't just randomly go in, risk 1%, hoping it hits 8%. No, when I first passed my first challenge when I passed, this is how I broke it down. Okay, I have to make 8%. So how do I go about this? I know I can make 4% in a day, but it's quite fairly enough because I did in the past. So how about I do this? I break down 8% into 2, 4, 4. This way, psychology speaking, my mind is more relaxed. I'm not chasing 8%. I make 4%. I'm done. Close the computer. I'm going about my day. Come back the next day or the next week whenever I see a good setup. Take the risk 1% again. Make the 4%. I'm done phase 1. Goal is to have a plan. So break your phases down into 2 or 3 or 4, whatever you can. You can also risk 1% a day and make 1-to-1 and pass within 8 days. Now there's no time limit. So why are you rushing? Right? Take your sweet time. Do that. It's also very important to have a goal in mind in terms of your payouts. For people, and this is me, including me, when I first got my first payout, I just blew everything within a week. Got a 10K. I went on a trip, luxury hotels, luxury cars, blew everything, gone. Right? Don't do this. Have a goal. Okay, I got this payout. Now what do I do with the payout? The main thing with people, all the wealthy people say that to be wealthy, to be rich, is not how much you make, but it's how much you keep. That's always the goal. To be wealthy is how much you keep. So the goal is, of course, you need to get payouts on a basis that's more consistent, and of course, to keep funding more accounts. So you should have a set 30-30 rule, where either 30-20-30 rule, where you keep 30 for your savings, 30 for your luxury, or 20 for your savings, 30 for your luxury, 30 for your business. So keep reinvesting the money, right? And have some savings and try to plan this all out. Now, in terms of, being consistent, You know, I personally wouldn't say to go take a challenge if you're not consistent on demo.
Yeah,
People say, you know,
100%,
don't trade
yeah.
demo because, you know, demo is fake. I understand that, but you will not be able to really master your strategy if you don't trade demo and gather data. Demo is very, very valuable if you treat it like a demo and actually not because you just want to trade, but because you're gathering data. The more data you gather from a demo, the more confident you get in your strategy, and the more better it comes when you actually take the challenge and you get funded. So gather data, you know, at least I would say 1,000 trades. You know, 1,000 trades or at least, you know, couple. I remember I have an Excel sheet with about 2,000 rows of just data of just, you know, past 3 years of my trades that I did from, I think, 2019 all the way up to now, right? And this for me gives me confidence in my strategy because I know it worked on demo. So why will it not work on the live account? The reason why it won't work is because of this psychology, not because of your analysis, right? So do demo trading, and you have to be okay with losing, man. People, you know, they take a challenge and they get very sad when they lose their first challenge. I'm telling you, I lost. I can speak for you as well. You know, you probably lost a lot of challenges as well, right? This is part of the game. This is how it goes. You should not be disheartened when you lose a challenge. Lose a challenge, learn from that challenge, why you lost, look back, you know, was it psychology, was it strategy, what it was, and then review them, work on them, and then go back and do it again. Don't be in a FOMO or greed to keep on, you know, like rushing it. I want to pass fast. I want to. One main thing I'll tell everyone, man, is do not look at social media. You know, this is one thing that I did, and I would look at all these guys coming in, passing left and right, making 20, 30K. It would be so demotivating for me. I'd be like, man, like I see this guy making 100K payouts. Like, I'm not even making 5K. Like, what the hell? You know, why can't I do this? It just sets you back. You know, you don't need to see all this stuff. You know, just focus on your journey, focus on yourself, keep your nose where it is. Don't peek into other people's business, and just do that. You know, work on yourself, work on your journey, focus on yourself, and as you grow as a trader, I'm telling you, man, if you put in the work, right, countless hours, if you put in the work, you really can. Anyone can do this, right? People like me, people like Ajwal, people like Jade, Paladin, you know, all these guys, they're just like humans, they're just like us. We have the same blood, you know, we're humans, all of us. If they can, why can't you?
Why can't
right?
you?
Literally, why can't you? The only thing is, they put in the work, they had the patience, and they trusted the process. So trust the process, you know, go with the flow, and eventually we'll come to a level where you look back, you're like, oh man, you know, I'm glad I went through all that. And enjoy the journey, man, because once you become profitable, when you get funded, it gets boring. It just gets repetitive. Same thing again and again. There's nothing more, you know. Now when you're learning, you're actually learning new stuff. You're like, oh wow, this is crazy. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. You learn more stuff. But when you become to the level where you have a fixed strategy, it's like a robotic process. You just go up, wake up morning, do analysis, click entry, go, you know. So
100%.
Yeah, man, that's my advice.
Hamza, thank you so much for joining today, and it was my honor talking to you. And guys, if you are not a subscriber yet, do not forget to hit the subscribe and leave a like. And if you are not following Hamza on Instagram, I have added his Instagram link in the description. Do not forget to check his Insta profile from the link in the description. That's it from this podcast. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.